Welcome to Business Class, a podcast for people wanting to upgrade their thinking, upgrade their learning, and upgrade their life. I'm your host, Eugenia Panderhos, founder of Business Class Collective, best-selling author, and life coach. If you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or someone who dreams of reaching their full potential, then you're in the right place. You'll feel empowered and inspired to design the life you've always wanted. Let's do this. Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome back to the show. I hope you are well and that life is treating you well. This week on the podcast, I would like to discuss love languages. Some years ago, I was drawn to the work of Dr. Gary Chapman, the author of The 5 Love Languages. This book was published around 1992, but that was a time of me becoming a young mum, so it wasn't a book on my radar as yet. In that now famous work, he coined the term love languages to explain the fundamentally different ways we express and receive love. But the love languages aren't just for romance. You can use the love languages to appreciate people in business, to support friends, and to show a partner that you care. Having read this book much later in life, I can see the immense value in understanding your own love language, the love language of your romantic partner, and the love language of your friends and work colleagues. It helps you understand how they tick and what makes them happy. Well, of course, love is universal and we all express and receive it just a little differently. And if you're interested in learning your preferred love language, you can read the book or there's a love language quiz that you can take online. Love languages matter, regardless of whether that's in your personal relationship, working life, managing a team, or running a business. So as we discuss the various love languages, think about what you have or are experiencing with your romantic partner. Look deeply and observe what they need to feel loved and appreciated. We all require a certain amount of emotional intelligence to stay connected and have meaningful relationships that foster connectedness and intimacy, and love languages help that to happen. So, what are the 5 love languages, you ask? They are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So let's look at words of affirmation. Words of affirmation can be expressed in the form of praise, recognition, reassurance, or admiration. Praise can be expressed both through verbal language, expression, and gestures. Think of someone cheering you on or clapping fervently at your accomplishments, telling you how special you are. Praise builds positive reinforcement and promotes unity and togetherness. Words of encouragement are future-based and can be very meaningful as your loved one is embarking on something new or challenging. Your words can give them the courage that they need to believe in themselves. Words of affirmation express love, appreciation, and empathy. This includes giving compliments or handwritten notes with love-filled messages, or sending a text message with loving emojis. But nothing beats someone sharing their love confession in person with those 3 little words. So, if your love language is that of words of affirmation, you will thrive when your partner acknowledges you with affection, compliments on your appearance, provides words of praise, appreciation, words of encouragement, meaningful and uplifting quotes, love letters, and cute text messages. By receiving love through these expressions, you will feel understood and appreciated, and you will know how much you mean to them. Quality time. When we talk about quality time, we are focusing on how we positively interact with another while we're spending time together. And this is regardless of the amount of time we spend together. By spending quality time, we are showing appreciation and attentiveness to our loved ones and to our friends. Spending time with our loved ones can also mean performing a favourite activity together or going on outings. It's about uninterrupted and focused quality time with direct engagement and conversations. It's about your partner having your undivided attention when spending time together and not being distracted about other matters. When your partner chooses to do things together in their spare time, it makes you feel special and safe, and it makes you feel that you are a priority in their life. So, if your love language is quality time, you'll feel loved and adored when your partner actively initiates spending time together, and this means having their undivided attention. This love language is about receiving attention without the distraction of phones, screens, televisions, or other activities. And it's about making eye contact and sitting together in a way that creates connection. Think dinner dates, movie nights, coffee catch-ups, walks, sharing and conversing and doing things together that make you feel special. Quality time is about spending time together, enjoying each other's company. Receiving gifts. The language of gifts is a way to show your partner that you're thinking of them and that they are a priority in your life. Gifts are symbolic. It's not about the monetary value of the gift. Instead, it's knowing that someone has been thinking about you and they have taken the time to choose something that represents the relationship. If receiving gifts is your love language, you will enjoy being gifted something that is a physical representation of your love. And this means that you love to receive something that is meaningful to you and not the gift giver. It indicates love and affection, and as this being your love language, you'll treasure the gift as well as the time and effort the gift giver put into it. Acts of service. This means helping your loved one and expressing love through actions. These actions ease the burden of responsibility for your loved one. It's about helping out and making a difference, and it's also about actions speaking louder than words. Acts of service are acts of love, and this is how the other person feels love. You could do this by doing the shopping, cooking a meal, hanging out the washing, vacuuming or cleaning the car. Importantly, acts of service also include supporting your loved one when they are feeling down. If your love language is acts of service, you like to be shown how appreciated you are. You enjoy things like having a cup of tea or coffee prepared for you, helping you out with chores, bringing you a bowl of nourishing soup when you're unwell, or helping out with cooking, setting the table, and cleaning up after a busy day at work. It's about sharing the load. Physical touch. This language is about the non-verbal use of body language to express love and affection. Remember the early days of romance when you couldn't keep your hands off one another? Well, for some couples who have this as their main love language, the physical touch and public displays of affection continue. Physical touch is both sexual and non-sexual and includes kissing, hugging and flirting, and people who communicate through this love language appreciate when they hold hands, cuddle or are held. There's that feeling of warmth and comfort that comes with physical touch, and this is when these people are at their happiest. If your love language is physical touch, you will enjoy the intimacy and physical signs of affection. Shoulder massages, back rubs, a touch of your arm, a kiss or a hug are highly valued, as is sitting on the sofa close together watching a movie with a drink in hand. These can be incredibly affirming and serve as a powerful emotional connection that may have its roots in a deep love and affection given by parents as a primary love language. Now that we've explored the 5 love languages, being words of affirmation, time, gifts, physical touch, acts of service, Chapman explains that we each will express one of these as a primary language, and that each of these languages can be ranked in order of importance. That means you'll be stronger in one, but not to the exclusion of others. It simply depends on the importance we place on them. So how do love languages benefit relationships? Because we all express and receive love differently, understanding these languages can help improve relationships. Love languages promote selflessness as you and your partner learn each other's love language. It's great to explore the different languages and rank them personally and to learn to love your partner in a way that is meaningful to them. Understanding love languages creates empathy as you get to step away from yourself to really take the time to explore what your loved one needs most. It promotes emotional intelligence as you seek to understand and speak the language of your partner. Knowing your and your partner's love language creates and helps to maintain intimacy. It will allow you to connect deeper and in more significant ways, and when this happens, your relationship will feel more intimate. Here's a quick way to identify your love language. Ponder on the responses to this question. Are you ready? In a relationship, do you feel more loved when your partner tells you I love you or praises something you did? Surprises you with a meaningful gift? Plans a trip for just the two of you? Runs the errands or does laundry? Holds your hand while walking? Love languages in everyday life. So love languages also exist in the relationship between parents and children, among co-workers and friends, and your preferred love language may change from time to time. For example, if your love language is words of affirmation, but you've had a particularly awful day at work, on this occasion, your preferred love language may be touch, and a hug or a shoulder rub may be all that you need. So, although the 5 languages are designed to inform, they are not rigid and prescriptive as being the only way to receive or give love. Each of us will move through cycles of the 5 love languages depending on what's happening in our or our partner's life. The way to do this is to ask what your partner needs right now to feel appreciated, loved, cherished, and heard, and act accordingly. Among other publications, Gary Chapman co-authored the book, The 5 Love Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace. At the workplace, you can adopt the same principles of the 5 love languages, or the languages of appreciation. To do this, become aware of what people need in order to feel visible, encouraged, and to thrive. And here's how. Words of affirmation. To be appreciated and respected through encouraging words. This can be displayed in meetings or in staff reviews or a compliment for a job well done in front of other staff members. Quality time. Having the opportunity to spend time with you either as a mentee capacity or in a group social activity, spending time on projects or staff lunches or workplace drinks, celebrations. These all invest in someone's well-being in the workplace. Receiving gifts. People feel valued when receiving gifts to mark occasions or when celebrating a milestone, and that gives them something that anchors them to the memory of that occasion. Acts of service. Providing support when needed. So when colleagues are under pressure, to learn what they need to help them get a job done, to see if you can offer more resources or to help delegate tasks to someone else. Physical touch, a pat on the back, a handshake or a hug, but of course in the workplace we need to be cautious. These things show people that they are appreciated and they're not just workers completing a task, but behind the work there is a person with feelings and someone who needs and requires a sense of belonging. So now's a great time to explore this theme and discover what your language is for your loved one, how you can use the 5 languages with your friendships, with your colleagues in your workplace. And remember that if we are loving and kind, and especially at this time in our lives coming through COVID and everything else, If we can be kind and loving and understand one another just that little bit more, it makes all the difference. We never know what battles people are fighting, so if you can spend time exploring how you can help your partner and how your partner can help you, I think that's a great place to start. And having the awareness of it is even better. Until next time. You've been listening to Business Class presented by Eugenia Panterhos, founder of Business Class Collective. If you haven't yet, go to Apple Podcast, subscribe, rate and review this podcast. Share the love and let your family and friends know too. You can follow Business Class Collective on Instagram and Facebook. Join me next time.